Apparently there are quite a few adders sunning themselves on the path up there, probably up to about 30 or 40 miles an hour. I just managed to hang on to the tent. I know it is forecast to pick up during the night, but I'm pretty sure this tent can deal with it. We'll get another update when we get down there, see if we can get off the island. Hi folks, and welcome to another adventure. We're back on the Isle of Arran, and the plan is to do the Three Beinns with a camp on Beinn Tarsuinn, which is the highest of the three. We've got lovely conditions down here as we've come into Glen Rosa, but the forecast is for quite strong winds higher up from the east and getting stronger through the night. I've got a pitch in mind which I wrecked about a year ago up on Beinn Tarsuinn, so we'll see if there's enough shelter. We might have to look around for somewhere better. Anyway, let's get along up the glen and then the ascent up the side of Garvalt. I've just been given the heads up by a guy who's walked down from Beinn Nuis. Apparently there are quite a few adders sunning themselves on the path up there. So I think Meg will be going on the lead for that section and keep her out of trouble. We've come up the side of Garvalt and avoided any snakes, thankfully. I just had Meg on a short lead behind me just in case. And we've just had the Coast Guard rescue helicopter buzzing about. Not sure whether it's looking for somebody or whether it's on an exercise. Anyway, we're not far from the top here, and we've got to cross the stream further up, and that's where we'll pick up our water supply for the night. Right, so we've taken on probably about 4 litres of water for the two of us for the night and for tomorrow morning. We've left Garvalt down below there, and now we're heading across this boggy section which will lead us to the base of Beinn Nuis, and we'll climb up onto the summit there. That's the pointed summit on the skyline, and then we'll drop down along the ridge to the right up onto Beinn Tarsuinn, where hopefully we'll find some shelter to pitch the tent for the night. So this is where the hard work begins, the climb up onto Beinn Nuis. So that's us coming up onto the summit of Beinn Nuis now, the first of our 3 bends. And from here we head down along that craggy ridge and up onto Beinn Tarsuinn. So this is one of the real benefits of coming out later in the day and spending the night up in the mountains. You hardly see anybody. The only people we've seen on the route today so far have been finishing off their day and heading back down. So I'll be very surprised if we see anybody at all now until tomorrow morning. Okay folks, say hello to the old man of Tarsuinn. Not sure exactly how old he is, but he's wearing quite well, don't you think? We're on Beinn Tarsuinn summit now, looking back towards Beinn Nuis. That's the ridge we've just come along. Okay, the wind isn't strong all the time, but it is gusting quite strong. So I'm going to go and try and find the spot that I wrecked last year down on the lee side here, on the west side, and hopefully that will be sheltered enough from the wind for us. So let's go and have a look and see if we can find it. Okay, well this is the picture I had in mind. It's it's a superb spot with an incredible view out to the west. But I've just had an attempt to put the tent up, and although it's fairly gentle wind now, it's been gusting coming over the top there from the west, probably up to about 30 or 40 miles an hour. I just managed to hang on to the tent. So we're going to abort this one, head back down over towards Chliabhain and hopefully find somewhere a bit lower down. I've just had a text message from Carmack saying there's a good chance that the ferries will be off tomorrow because of the strong winds and the swell on the sea. So it's only going to get worse. So hanging around up here isn't a good idea. We need to head down to a bit lower ground. Well, we've come down off Beinn Tarsuinn now, and we're actually on the route across to Chliabhain, which is over there. So what we're trying to find now is a relatively flat spot out of the strong wind and get set up for the night. I doubt wherever we stop we're going to get a sunset now. It must be gone 7:30. That's the last ferry out of Brodick, which leaves at 7:20. So yeah, dark in another hour. So all being well, we'll get pitched this side of Beinn Chliabhain. Well, unfortunately we couldn't find anything before Beinn Chliabhain, so we've actually come down off Beinn Chliabhain now. That's the third of the three bends done, and we're on our way back down towards Glen Rosa. We've managed to find a little pitch here, which is relatively sheltered behind this wee ridge. It has been gusting around a wee bit, but it's a lot better than it was higher up. So we're going to get settled in here, get the sleeping mat, sleeping bag out, get a brew on, and make ourselves comfortable for the night. That's us fed and watered now. Meg's curled up asleep in the corner of the tent. The wind has certainly picked up. It's just gone 10 o'clock now, and we're getting buffeted quite strongly, but I think we made the right decision to come down off the top. I can't imagine what it's like up there now. It must be even worse. And the other plan was to walk all the way back down into Glen Rosa, but we'd have been getting down there in the dark and having to pitch in the dark, so we should be okay here. I know it is forecast to pick up during the night, but I'm pretty sure this tent can deal with it. So it's time for a wee dram, and we've got the Orcadian from the Scapa distillery on Orkney, Cheers. Slange. Oh yes, that's a good one. Probably another couple of those, and then I'll be getting in my sleeping bag and trying to get some sleep. So I'm very sorry that there will be no time-lapse sunset on this video, but depending what conditions are like at sunrise, and if we've not been blown off the hill, I'll pop my head out and see if we can catch the sunrise for you. Right, time to turn in. See you in the morning. Good morning. It's just after 5:30 and it's still blowing a hoolie. I think I managed to get about maybe an hour's sleep, if that. But it's too windy to put the camera outside for a time lapse. But I will pop out and take a couple of still photos of the sunrise. So yeah, a fairly noisy night. The tent stood up to it very well, barely flinched. It's been flexing obviously in the wind, but other than that, no guy lines out, no pegs out. It's absolutely rock solid. So breakfast time. We've got a mug of coffee and my favourite breakfast, the old Summit to Eat morning oats and raspberries. That'll get me fired up and ready for the descent down into Glen Rosa. It's still blowing pretty strong here, so actually getting the tent down will probably be a task in itself, but we'll just take it nice and steady and get that packed away in slow time, no rush, and we'll see you when we're ready to strike camp. Well, that's us all packed up and ready to leave. We're going to head down along this broad ridge through the deer fence at the bottom there, and then along and down into Garvalt, out of Garvalt into Glen Rosa, and then back through to Brodick. And I can see the ferry terminal. There's no ferry there. If the 7 o'clock from Ardrossan had run, it would have been in and out by now. So no, it's not Beinn. We'll get another update when we get down there, see if we can get off the island. So stay tuned to find out if we're here for another night or not. We're down at the bottom of Garv Alt now. This is the lovely waterfall just before it enters the Rosa water, and next we head off down along the track out of the glen. Well, we're back in Brodick now. There's a good walk back down through the glen, and as a reward it's a second breakfast, nice sausage and bacon roll from Woolies Bakers, and I think I've spotted the ferry coming over, so it looks like there's normal service. I've not had a text saying otherwise, so all being well we'll be on the 11:10 boat. And Meg wants a bit of bacon. Excuse me. There we are. So there we go. Hope you've enjoyed this adventure with us. Not exactly as planned, but we did the Three Beinns actually earlier than I'd anticipated. I wasn't expecting to get the boat back until this afternoon. Thanks very much for watching if you've got this far, and all being well, I'll see you on the next adventure. Bye for now.